What's up, everyone? In today's episode, I had a chance to sit down with the legend in the making Pit Crew Guy. So for people who don't know, Pit Crew Guy, or Michael, has these custom flags that say Mosh Pit Crew or Pit Crew with an arrow pointing down. And he goes to all these festivals and just goes hard in the pit with these flags. Now, I first saw his flag at Warp DC with a custom Warped logo, but it just said Mosh Pit Crew. And I thought that was just Warp Tour being Warp Tour. I was like, that is freaking awesome. And then a couple months later at Riot Fest in Chicago, I saw the same flag, but it was in Riot Fest's colors. I was like, what are the odds? So after the Bouncing Souls set, I got a chance to talk to him, and I just like, hey, was this you at Warp DC? And lo and behold, it was. When I had this idea of starting up this channel, he was one of the first people I wanted to bring on, and actually was the first interview I had. So without any further ado, let's jump into this. Ladies and gentlemen, today I bring to you Pit Crew Kid. What's up?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. About you?
Oh man, I'm doing great. It's getting ready for a whole new year of doing this again.
Yeah, it is 2026 now. Man, I can't wait. There's some good shows lined up this year for me. Starting with the Paradox.
Starting with the Paradox. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Love it,
Yep.
love it. You're going to have to get the pit started for me for that day. I'm not going to be there for Buffalo.
Oh, I definitely will. I'll just go in with a shirt that says Pit Crew shirt.
That's all.
So for the viewers, how do you want to be known as? Like, do you want to be known as Pit Crew Guy, Pit Flag Guy, your first name? How do you want to be known as?
Honestly, I answer to anything starting with Pit. Pitkid is my handle on all the or Pitkid01 on the Instagram and whatnot. People call me Pit Guy, Pit Flag Guy, Sign Guy, all of the above.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll always know you as the Pit Crew Guy. But how did this whole entire Pit Crew flag start? How did this whole entire thing become to be?
Well, it started. I first had the idea several years ago. I mean, I didn't come up with the idea to hold something up to start pits, but basically the reasoning behind doing it is I go to shows. I go to shows sometimes that are not always going to have a pit, like your starting line level band, Simple Plan type band, bands that started out really super fast and punky and maybe got a little softer and have a divide of fans. And I'll be at that show and I'll be I'll be skanking in my own little area and no one's joining. And I'll see a guy over there that's going extra hard, a guy over there that's going extra hard. And I know we all want it, right? So you hold that sign up. People are going to all get there. People, oh, that guy's doing it. That guy's doing it. Oh, there's a pit. Let's go join the pit. So first time I had the idea was a Green Day tour a while back. And I had a friend on Reddit, goes by the name Beef Girl, if you're still around, made me this mosh pit sign that kind of looks like a Green Day logo. And it had these long kind of sticks that didn't end up getting in the venue. So I didn't end up being a pit guy just yet. And then 2023 is kind of when it started. When we were young, 2023, first band of the day, Phoenix TX, old school drive-through records band. And there's a dude that has a flag. It says Florida Pit Squad. And I'm like, oh, cool. Florida's got its own pit representation. That's cool. And this dude was just prepared. He had this flag. He had signs. And he had this cardboard sign right there. And he was like, hey, dude, you want to hold this? Since he's already got his flag. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I was holding that up during that set. And after that set, I was just like, that was kind of cool. Could I just borrow this the rest of the day? Because I got a few more sets to go to. He's like, yeah, totally, dude. So I kind of just rest the day, bring that sign, get pit started, have a lot of fun, and I don't see him again. Um, his name is Marco. We're buddies, but I didn't see him again. So I just kept the cardboard sign, right? And I just had it for a while, and then I was like, I got that sign. Like, I may as well like bring it to the show tonight. So I started to like bring it to shows in Dallas where I live currently, and um, and it worked a little bit. But then when it really kicked off was the Green Day Saviors tour. Green Day, Rancid, Linda's, Smashing Pumpkins were also there, but we don't mosh to them. So, um, but I brought this sign because I was like, dude, they play Dookie and American Idiot every night. Like, I went 17 times. I went 17 times because of the deep cuts that I'll just might never hear again, right? So, and I bring this sign to every single show. Every single show, I'm in the pit. I got this sign to get it started. And then during the show, during one of the slow songs, um, normally give me Novocaine, actually, to be specific. I'll like gather everyone in the pit because we stopped moshing for a minute. Pit picture. And I have this pit picture with me holding the sign and like everyone from the pit crew. And I started posting on Reddit pit crew recaps for every show. And then like people started like coming up to me during Green Day shows, being like, "Oh, you're the pit crew recap guy!" Like, "Oh, I'm so excited to be in the pit with you." Um, so that's where it started, and that was over 2 years ago. And I mean, if you see that sign, like it is dingy. It is like torn up. It actually got ripped up. Somebody aggressively was like, "Hey, I'm tall. I'll help you hold it." Ah! Torn in half. I taped it back together. It was too important. It had too much sentimental value. So I taped that back together. But I knew that like it had to be. It had its time had come to an end. It had to be retired and upgraded. So this is where we um, long story, but this is where we get to the origin of the actual flag. So Rockville, 2025, a couple months ago, in Florida, where the Florida Pit Squad is from, and I see not just Marco, but like a bunch of dudes and ladies with pit flags, and I'm just like, that's freaking cool. I got to upgrade. Warp Tour's coming up. I'm gonna make the coolest, most badass flag for Warp Tour, and that, of course, is this one right here. And the rest is history.
Dude, that is awesome. So are you still in touch with Marco, or is it like that was the first time and the last time you've ever seen the guy?
Oh yeah, no, Marco. He is. Yeah, we were. He was at work in Orlando. So I got a picture. We'll post it up there. I got a picture of him with our pit flags and some of the other original pit flag people. Yeah, me and Marco. Yeah, now we're always chatting about our next pit flag. We're always talking about upgrading.
Yeah, that is incredible. It's awesome when you meet people from different states and you just have that connection. So
Absolutely, that's what this is all about. Like I make connections with all these strangers in like different states all the time, and it's just like, where do I know you from? Like, you were at that show in Seattle, right? Do you live in Seattle? No. Do you live in this state that we're in now? No. Neither do I. I don't live in either state. We just all fly all over, and
I
it's
mean,
an awesome.
that's how we met. It was in
Exactly.
Chicago. It was at Riot
Yep.
Fest.
Yep.
No. So with the flags, do you have them like do you design them and customize them yourself, or does somebody do that for you?
So I am um I'm like the idea man, but like not good at executing, you know? But so like I had this idea I was like, it has to look exactly like the Vans Warped Tour logo, but instead of the arrow going to the side, it's going to go down because that's where the pit is, and like the same font with the. And I even drew this up. That's what I sketched up, just to show like that with the M with the line like that instead of the line like that. And my buddy Brains, who on Instagram goes by this is Jay Wade, but we call him Brains. He is he's such a good artist, and I just like put in my chat. I'm like, y'all, I got an idea for something creative. Who wants to help me out? Brains and my buddy Sam Ash both like jumped to it. They both collaborated on the first one. Got my exact vision, and Brains has been my go-to flag guy ever since. I just tell him like, here's what I want it to look like, and he just gets it exactly. So I got show you in order. So this is where you met me at the Riot Fest, which is basically just, they don't have like a specific kind of logo, but this is what this year's kind of aesthetic was. I made this is when we were young, right here with that aesthetic. I made one specifically for a couple bands. Green Day gets one, obviously. We redid the Dookie and made it into Mosh Pit Crew. Voice in the Paradox, who I'll tell you about. They get the red flag. Take Murphy's shadow. So this one is the show last month that was the starting line, Homegrown, Hidden in Plain View, and Ace Enders from the early November. It was an all Drive-Thru Records lineup, so I had to do something special for that.
That had to have been an incredible show.
Oh, so good, so good. Adam from Homegrown got in the pit for the starting line. There are some rumblings about something Drive-Thru Records happening. I don't know this year, next year, but I think the Drive-Thru bands are going to come together. I don't know if it's going to be a festival. I don't know if it's going to be a tour. I don't know if it's going to be a 6-man cruise, but crossing my fingers, and I got my Pit Crew banner ready for that.
Yeah, one can hope, and I actually do hope that happens. Either if they're all on one festival lineup or they do a mini tour, that would just be incredible.
Yeah, give us give us a small tour. Give us Alistair, Midtown, Phoenix TX, the Movie Life. Give us those, or give us Newfound Glory, something corporate. Give us the festival. Give us what we want. Put it on the boat. I'll be there.
Well, Newfound Glory is releasing new music, so there is a chance that they could be touring and they can bring out some of these bands, because that would be incredible.
Let's do that if you're listening, Newfound Glory.
Please do it, please. So what was the very first show with the Pit Crew flag?
So the first show where I upgraded to the flag was Warped Tour. I knew I was going to all three. 2025 had 3 dates: Washington, D.C., Long Beach, California, Orlando, Florida. And I'm like, I'm going to go to all 3. The sign's not going to do it anymore. I'm going to make the sickest pit flag ever. And it just looked so official that everybody thought I worked there. Everyone was like, people just come up to me like, hey, where's the Lost and Found? I happen to know that it's straight that way to the left, but just so you know, I don't work here.
Because that was the first time I saw your flag was at Warp DC, and I thought you were part of the Warp Tour employee staff and all that. So I was like, oh yeah, it's just a person that is hyping up the crowd.
I'd love to. I'm available. I want to do this for, I won't charge that much. Just get me there. That's all I want. And I will give your festival the best pits ever. I promise.
Come on, Warped Tour. Let's do this.
Yeah. I asked Kevin Lyman when I saw him in person, and he was like, yeah, we have the pit patrol, and yeah, no, I know you got the people with the shirts that answer questions, but like, no, I mean somebody in the
The
pit
pit.
to start the pit and keep it safe.
Yes. And also, like I said, with the flag, everyone knows where to go. If you want to go in the pit, you know where you're at. And the people who see that flag and like, yo, I don't want to be in the pit, they can move 20 feet off to the side
That's
and
all.
they'll be fine. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Do you want one giant area for the pit, or do you want to have 3 or 4 small pits, which can lead to more dangerous things happening?
And look, let's face it, those 3 or 4 small pits are going to combine at some point.
Yes.
And if you're in the middle of those 3 and 4 small pits, you're gonna get in the middle of that big one. So, I get it. Hey, I was here first, and like, listen, if we get there and it's just not time to start, it's just not the place. Like, we'll go somewhere else. But if there are 40 people ready to start a pit, like, just move a few feet. I
Yep.
get it. I get you were there first, but you could stand here and be miserable and stand your ground, or you could move 20 feet and have a better time.
Mhm. That is very true. So with the Warp DC, do you remember the first band that you saw with the pit crew flag?
I think it was the Suicide Machines. They were early in the day. I think it might have been them, or it might have been Gritty and Pink, the Sierra Girl and her all-female jam crew. Love Sierra Girl. Love what she's done for Warped Tour. It was either them or the Suicide Machines. But I remember Suicide Machines were early. I remember I was like, where is everybody? And this is a band that shouldn't need the flag to get it going. But it worked. I just started running in circles, and soon enough people started joining.
Yeah, that Suicide Machines, they are like that old school punk where it's fast paced, and like you said, you shouldn't need the flag, but then again, it's like 11:30 in the morning, and you're just trying to get everybody in there still, and everyone's like, the layout was, once you understood it, you knew where to go. But for those first probably 4 hours, trying to understand what stages were where and the lockers and everything else, I was getting lost and getting turned around multiple times. So I wonder if that was also part of the issues in the morning.
It could be, look, some people are just like, I'm not making it there early. Like, I hope my bands are on late. I'm not going to be there all day long. And, you're going to miss, you might miss the Suicide Machines.
Yeah. And I prefer the earlier starts just because, by 6, 7 o'clock at night, I'm getting tired, and what Warped Tour is to me is, yes, there's those bands that I absolutely want to see, but I also love just finding new artists. Like Hunting Revenge was one that I had no clue who they were, but they're on and there wasn't really anyone else going on. So I'm like, yo, let me go watch them. And I watched like 2 or 3 of their songs and I'm like, yo, this is good. So that's why I love Warped Tour.
I know. I honestly discovered more new bands this year than I have in the past 20 years because I stopped trying, and the festival poster comes out, you look at it, you're like, yes, this band I love, this band I love, this band I love, that band I love. Bam, I'm there. Those are all I have to see. But the way Warped Tour rolled it out, every time they put a band on them, and I just was like, oh, let me check them out. They're only giving us 5 bands today. I know these 3. Let's find out these 2. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, who's this band? People are ugly. They are awesome. They are not ugly at all. They are 4 dreamy young boys.
Yeah, that and also Cliff Diver was another one. And
Cliff Diver,
did you ever see Carpool at Washington or the DC stop?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
I heard that name though, so maybe I should check them out.
Yeah, they're actually a Rochester-based band, so they're 30 minutes from the other side of me, where Buffalo's 40 minutes from my house. So I'm smack dab between 2 cities, and they're from Rochester, and they're in that genre of like Cliff Diver with their punk emo style thing going on. It's really good, I think.
Love it. Love
But
it.
yeah, they just have a lot of fun, and the singer does some stupid bit where in between songs he'll start talking about, like a Harry Potter series. He did one show, then he started talking about Star Wars at a different show I saw. Just like, all right, this is one way to kill time while you're, switching up tuning for the next song. What was the first moment though when people started realizing you were the mosh pit crew guy?
So, I mean, there was like there's the moment on the Green Day tour, like I told you, I was like posting those recaps, and people started just coming up like, "Oh, you're the guy that you're the sign guy. Oh, that's you." And so I started getting like a little notoriety in the Green Day world. But yeah, after the first Warped Tour show, it really like blew up. Like I was expecting a little negativity, but like there was just a bunch of love on Reddit for me. Like multiple people posting like, MVP, unsung hero, like, thank you, flag guy. So that was a lot of fun. Not a nasty comment in the bunch until when we were young, but that's another story. But I did start to get like recognized, like when I went to Riot Fest. Oh, are you the same guy from Warped Tour?
That was me.
Yeah, exactly. And then it shows in Dallas, like probably like one time every show, someone will come up to me like, "Are you that guy at Warped Tour?" Yep, that's me.
How do bands react when they see the pit crew flag? Are some of them like all in, like, yo, this is awesome, go follow that guy, or other ones just kind of see it and just like not address it at all?
Some bands like don't see it. A friend of mine, or someone I work with, it knows Jared from Bowling for Soup, and he doesn't notice that kind of stuff. But yeah, some bands really dig it, really embrace it. The Paradox, 408, Shira Girl, Linda Linda's, all bands that like absolutely embrace it. All of them have like given me shout outs on stage. Shira Girl has like carried the flag. Like she came down to the pit and she goes, "All female pit," to which like I'm getting out of the way, but like someone's got to hold. So I just hand her that flag, get out of the way, and she rocked it. It was really cool. The 408 guys always give me a really cool shout out, like because both 2 times during Warped Tour I came mid set and he's just like, "Oh, pit flag coming through. We fuck with that guy." Paradox always gives me a shout out. Those guys are my boys.
Yeah, they are definitely an up and coming band that remind me of a lot of Blink-182 back in the late 90s, early 2000s with the shenanigans that they do.
Their humor is like seeing a Blink show. Back in the late 90s, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I was probably 7 or 8 at the time. I was born in 92, so like I watched the videos on YouTube of what Blink used to do back in the day, and I still laugh at it because it's humorous as hell. But I'm like, not many other bands do that, including like Bowling for Soup does it in their own unique way.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any younger bands that are just like, yo, we're just going to be as ridiculous as Blink-182 is in between their songs. And
some bands are just afraid to go there, and it's like, it's all in good fun. We're not targeting anybody. We're not punching down. We're just having fun. Yeah. And that's what they do. They're great guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I got those vibes after seeing them at Riot Fest where I'm like, they're just out there having the time of their life and they don't care.
And like they got so lucky, and they know they got so lucky, but like also they work hard, and other bands get lucky. Other bands like get that, perfect moment, perfect opportunity, but very few are able to capitalize it, and they're killing it.
Yeah, it is literally lightning in a bottle for them. Like it is one of those moments where it just they hit the moment right at the perfect time, especially it was either during the pandemic or towards the end of the pandemic, where, they just started popping up everywhere. And from there, it just,
Oh, it was after. It was after. I mean, they have been a band for, I want to say, under 2 years right now. Like they're meteoric rise.
yes. And it's incredible for them being a band that is, you know, we'll just say 2 years old. We'll aim high on this and have been able to accomplish so much in so little time. And it's all off of, going viral.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with bands and everyone else recognizing you, are there artists or security guards who just don't understand the pit crew flag at all?
Honestly, no. I mean, some fans maybe, like I mentioned, there was like a little bit of hate in the When We Were Young Reddit thread. They're like, hey, let's not bring flags. But then there were some people that were like, yeah, fuck flags, fuck totems. But the guy with the pit flag, he's okay. That flag's allowed. So it was cool to kind of, get people, and even like, the poster of that was like, all right, yeah, that guy's okay, but all the rest. But security has been really cool. Like, I was nervous, like, crowd surfing with it or anything. And at Riot Fest, when I crowd surfed with it, the security guard was like, hey, you're cool, love what you're doing, but don't crowd surf again. And I'm just like, you got it. You got it. Look, they're letting me do my thing out there. I gotta help them, do their job, make it a safe place. So if they don't want me to do it, I won't. But I promise I can do it safely, and I will if you let me. And Warped Tour let me. Warped Tour was so cool. Like I was crowd surfing all day. They took care of me every time.
Yeah, I definitely respect security who are just like, yo, do your thing, but just don't do this little portion of your thing.
One time I was at a festival, I swear, and I crowd surfed, and the security guard goes, two more times and you're out of here. And I said to him, I'm like, does that mean like I'm good to go another time, or would you prefer it if I didn't? It's like, I prefer it if you did. I got you. I got you. The way he said it was just so funny. Two more times.
Yeah, I would have had the same reaction as you. Like, wait, so you're telling me I can do this at least once more? And if I get moved slightly to a different area in crowd surf and you don't see me, we're still good. Like,
right.
Like, there's that gray area where we can have fun with this. But what was the most like unexpected thing that has happened since you've been doing the pit crew flags?
The most unexpected thing would probably be, so this is really cool. After the last day of the last Warped Tour, with my like micro celebrity that I became in the Warped Tour scene, I'm taking pictures with people. I gave out these bracelets I made that's Pit Crew, and it's got Warped Tour, and it's got like the actual looks like the flag up there. So giving all those out, I was taking pictures with people, and there's a group of people like patiently waiting to talk to me. And after I, came up to them like, oh yeah, hey, you've been at all three, right? I was like, yeah, we've seen you in the live streams and everything. Like, love what you're doing out there. And I like looked down and I noticed like they're wearing radios. Oh, you guys work here. Yeah, yeah. Do you want to come with us to the artist lounge for the after party? Yeah, I do. She gave me a friends and family wristband. But I have stuff. I gotta. Oh yeah, we'll come with you to get your stuff. Like, turned out her name was Maureen Valker. She's like the number two person at Insomniac, I think, if not like super high up there. And she's like the main person with Warped Tour. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like Kevin Lyman and then her. and she brought me up to meet Kevin. Like she personally introduced me to Kevin. Um, she like took my information. It's like, I want to make sure you're back next year. Like it was really cool that the festival recognized my enthusiasm and what I was doing, and like I really appreciated that.
How did you react when meeting Kevin Lyman? Because I would just be freaking out. Like I would have a total fangirl moment and just hug him.
So I actually met him like a couple weeks earlier at the there was a Warped Tour roundtable at the Punk Rock Museum during When We Were Young weekend. So I did meet him, briefly there, but it's way different to kind of meet him in that situation and to like be introduced like by his partner to him.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah, like if I ever got a chance to meet him, I would totally fangirl. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know I will not be able to keep calm and just like, you're Kevin Lyman. Oh my God.
I just thanked him for what he's done for our scene, for bringing it back, and for continuing to do it right.
Yeah, and for even before this whole entire thing in the 90s when he had this crazy idea of let's have a traveling festival and then be able to do it for 20 plus years before, just financially it was just maybe not in his best interest to continue doing it, health reasons, financially, who knows.
Not even Warped Tour, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
It's not even Warped Tour. Like if you think about it, what festival in the 2020s with that size and that infrastructure is traveling? None of them. They're all one place, one weekend. If we're lucky, maybe two different locations, or like Warped Tour's giving us 3 last year, 5 this year, but it's never going to be a tour. You can't pick that all up and start and do it in a different city every day. There's no way it's financially possible. Just no way.
Yep. And also remember, I think it was 2010s, maybe 2015 or a little bit earlier with like Mayhem Fest and Uproar Fest, where it was sort of like Warped Tour, but for more heavy metal, where you had like Slipknot being the headliners or Rob Zombie. They did it. But after a couple years, it bailed. Like they stopped doing it.
Right. And then like, I don't know if those were big, like 5, 6, 8 stages like Warped Tour, but the ones that
4.
do, like if you say, anyone that's like, oh, but what about, and of course I'm not thinking of any off the top of my head, but the one that Beartooth was on this year, what about those festivals? Like, oh, you mean the ones that are one stage and just, long, just from noon, starting at noon instead of starting at 5, like, at best you might see like there's 2 stages, but you are not going to see an 8-stage festival that travels ever again.
No, it's just like you said, financially impossible, logistically, good luck. Like even when the first time I went to Warped Tour, I didn't sleep. We drove out there the night before to Darien Lake. We stayed in this guy's yard where we parked our cars. We called him like Uncle Greg or something. He's not family at all, but because of if the police came up and asked, he said, "You are my nephews and nieces and you guys are just camping out for Warped Tour," because if we didn't, we would have all gotten in trouble, including him. But I remember, I think it was like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun is just coming up and I just see semi after semi and tour buses just pulling in nonstop for like 2 hours straight. And even then I was just like, how do they make money doing this? Because back then tickets were $20. I'm aging myself on that one. Tickets were $20 for the whole day.
I think that it was really only profitable like 1 year. The band sponsorship, I'm pretty sure, is what kept it going.
Yeah. And then probably, all the other charities who would go on there. And I don't know if they had I'm assuming there was like a tent fee, like a rental space that they would have to pay that kind of helped offset. But even that, I wish I could see those books and those numbers to understand how was this profitable? Because even still to this day, I'm 33 now. I'm just like, I don't understand how it was profitable. Absolutely loved every second of it. But for financially wise, I don't understand how you were able to do this for 20 years and now doing was it 3 to 5 dates for Warp now? The weekends.
3 last year, 5 this year. We got this. We still got Washington D.C., Long Beach, and Orlando, and then we added. I'm saying we now. Montreal and New Mexico or Mexico City.
Mexico City.
Yes, and I do plan on being at all 5. That's why I say we.
I will be at Warp DC for sure. And then other than that, if I can get to another one, I will be happy, but who knows with schedules. You just never know.
We do our best.
Yeah, that's all we can do. But I will definitely be at DC. I bought my ticket the day after it was done and pre-sale went live again for the 2026. I was like, yo, I'm going. I don't care who's the bands. Like, I need this.
Yeah, I'm a Warp lifer. I don't care the bands. You're gonna find there's gonna be 8 bands that you already like. There's going to be 8 bands you already like. If there's not, like, do you really like this kind of music? And then there's gonna be another 8 that you find that you're like, that next year you're gonna be like, I hope they come back because, again, like that's how we discover new music. And man, some of these younger bands are really killing it.
Yeah, and I mean, even for the younger bands, that was the dream. Like, even when I was in young bands, like I was 20 at the time, like all I wanted to do was play Warped Tour once. That was like the dream. And now being a concert photographer and all that stuff, my dream now is just like, I just want to shoot Warped Tour just one time. Like, if I can do that once, that is like the full circle moment for me of like, I checked off the goal of my lifetime of just being a part of Warped.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I do believe it will happen.
We are manifesting starting now.
Yes, I will be there shooting and you will be there running in circles with the pit flag.
That's right.
So with Warp 2026, are you going to create a new flag for it, or are you going to bring out the Mosh Pit Crew flag behind you? You're going to reuse it?
I'm going to bring this back, but I may have something special in store for our international shows.
I can't wait. So we did talk about bands that you do bring the flag out for, like the Starting Line and a couple of the others that we talked about that I'm spacing on. But is there any bands that you're just like, yeah, they don't need it, or this is just not the vibes where I need to bring out a flag?
Yeah, I mean, if I go to, if I'm going to see Pennywise, not at Warped Tour, just like at a club show, we're going to be okay without the sign. The pit's going to be just fine. A Day to Remember, we're going to be okay. So some of the harder bands that are just guaranteed pits, maybe. So if they played Warped Tour and like maybe they'll like recognize it, like I'll bring it just to like hold up a couple times throughout the show for them to be like, oh, I remember you. But yeah, if it's a show that doesn't need it, I don't need to bring it up there.
All right. Yeah. And then, so when you do bring the flag into the pit, is there rules that you kind of go by? Or you're just like, yo, I'm holding this and let's just go nuts?
Specifically, like for me, I mean, I don't want to piss anybody off. Okay. I don't want people to think like I'm ruining the pit by being in it. So, I'm there to create lives. I'm there to get it started. I'm there to keep it going. But if we're all standing in the middle, what Fletcher from Pennywise calls Safety Island, the group of people in the middle of the pit that everyone's running around. It was hilarious. One show, he's like, all right, now open up Safety Island, everybody. So, sometimes people don't want to run around in circles. They want to, mosh and hit each other a little bit. And, so people are trying to clear out the Safety Island. I'm going to clear out. I'm going to let it happen. but unspoken rules in the pit, is take care of each other, and if someone falls down, pick them up. But as far as being the guy holding a 10-foot flag, a couple of other things I do to just make sure that I'm keeping it safe and we're keeping it safe.
Yeah. And with the pit, I always try to explain this to people. Like they think I'm nuts when I go in there and I explain like I have, $5,000 of a camera and my lenses just in the pit taking photos, and everyone thinks I'm nuts, but I'm like, I feel more safer in a pit than I do just outside of the crowd, because I know, one, there's no crowd surfers going to be falling on me.
Yeah.
And like
Usually.
everyone knows the unspoken rules of if you fall, you pick them up. If you see somebody with, camera gear, you kind of like, all right, don't punch them. Don't really get into it. If you run into them, that's one thing, but don't deliberately go into them.
Yeah, we look out for the camera crew.
Yes.
Absolutely. We want them to take good pictures of us, so we want to keep y'all safe.
Yes, and also a lot of festivals, and just bands in general, they love those moments of the raw picture of just people going ape shit in the pit and just going nuts, and you get that raw energy. I'm like, yo, those are the shots that I live for, really.
Yeah,
it's more than like,
the best part of the show. It is the best area of the show. It is we are the most fun people at the show. Not to put anyone else down, but like we are having way more fun than you. Sorry. And like, look, to each their own. Look, some people can't. Some people have to sit down and understand that. However, we have some badasses on crutches and wheelchairs that come out. So if there's a will, there's a way. But it's the most fun. It's the most fun. One of my favorite stories. I joke around because there's the barricade people, and they are their own breed. But we are all junkies. We're all junkies, and I'm friends with barricade people. We're not rivals, but maybe friendly rivalries. But I do joke around all the time, like, we have so much more fun than you. And I've had some friends in the barricade be like, you do make it sound like a lot of fun. Like, one of these days I'm going to try the pit with you. Like, one of these days. And my friend Matt that I met during the Green Day tour, he was always barricade every time. He told me, he's like, look, I'm a barricade through and through. Like, that is my spot. Like, I want to be up front, but I'm going to try to pit with you this time. You like your recaps, like, it just sounds so fun. And sure enough, after the show, he comes up to me and he says, the most fun I've ever had at a concert. That made me so happy.
That makes me happy and also, I used to be a barricade kid where for certain bands, that's where I was. I would just place myself right there and not move all day and get squished and have crowd surfers go over me. Prime example was Linkin Park when I saw them it was Rock on the Range, now Sonic Temple. So this is like 2015.
Okay.
And I remember I was like 2 people away from the barricade for their set, and I would say 3/4 of the set, I was busy getting crowd surfers over to the security guards. And if I was 20 feet back in the pit where my brother was, he's like, I got a chance to enjoy the show the whole entire time. Didn't have to worry about crowd surfers, really, because he was the one picking them up and getting them up. And, when certain songs came on, he just went nuts in the pit. And I'm like, damn, I should have been like that. And ever since then, I was just like, no, what? I'm going in the pit. Even if I don't want to be in the pit, being on the outside of the pit, I still can enjoy the show. And if I get that energy, I'm going in.
And that's how it started for me, because I was a little kid, tiny little 6th grader, 4 foot, whatever, going to see Blink-182 when they were still playing punk rock clubs. And I was always the edge of the pit because like, look, I was tiny, I couldn't see over people's heads. So at least like when I'm in the edge of the pit, like I can kind of see because there is not someone directly in front of me. And, just put your arms up, brace
Yep.
yourself, and, you'll be okay. I had elbow room. I felt great. And as I got older and grew a little bit and felt more confident, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna go in for 20 seconds, and I would like go in and like come back out, and got more confidence, stayed in longer, and now you can't pull me out.
Now, is there a pit that you absolutely love the most, like a circle pit, just a standard mosh pit, hardcore dancing? Is there one of those that you're just like, yo, this is the best ones of them all, for your personal
I
opinion?
love it. Here's what I love: when there's a circle pit happening, and inside the circle is people skanking and moshing in the chaos. That's my favorite.
Yes. Yes. Paradox had that at Riot Fest, and then also Dance Hall Crashers. That
Oh
pit
yeah.
at Riot Fest was incredible. It was one of my
Yep.
favorite because everybody was skanking and running in circles at times, and it was just so much fun.
Yes. Oh, Scott pits are the best. Scott pits are my favorite.
Yes. Yeah, actually, what my first pit was Real Big Fish. So,
Oh man,
so
do I
such
miss
a
Real
small
Estate.
world where it's like my first ska pit and first pit in general where I had the confidence to go in was Real Big Fish. So,
And it's bands like that where you do have the more confidence.
yep.
People will ask like, "Oh, first pit like pop punk or ska. Do not start with a Day to Remember or Turnstile. Do
No,
not."
no, like in it, like I showed my coworkers Slaughter to Prevail, the Wall of Death,
Yeah,
and I know my boundaries. I used to be able that guy that does it. Now I'm 33. I'm like, my body won't do it. I'm like, mentally I can do it, but it's going to hurt like hell the next
right,
day. But I show them that, and they're like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "You just gotta be there." But I don't recommend it to anyone who is just like, "Oh, your first pit, go to a Wall of
yeah,
Death."
right. When I was a kid at Ozfest, just to say I did it, I literally stepped into a Slayer pit and stepped right out, just to be like, I was in a Slayer pit.
I think I was in one Slayer pit for about 5 seconds, and that
Oh,
was, but this is what years later where all Slayer fans, they're 45 plus, and they got about literally like 30 seconds of moshing before we're all gassed, and it was them and Slipknot. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, I will go in the amphitheater. I had the pit ticket. I will go in that pit for at least, I think I lasted like 10, 15 seconds at most. And I was like, okay, I did it. I'm out.
yeah. Yeah, when we were younger, I feel like Slayer was like known as the like hardest pit to be in. Sorry. All right. Um, so yeah, funny you brought up Slipknot. So I work at venues, and we have these like pre-show meetings, and Slipknot, we don't allow people to bring in blankets because they light them on fire. And Slipknot came back last year, and they were like, "Yeah, so we thought about allowing blankets, but we checked in with some of the other venues they played, and apparently their fans have not grown up."
That actually doesn't surprise me because I feel like Slipknot was, and this could be just the new metal scene, even though I don't count Slipknot towards new metal really. But I feel like that scene is where chaos really started to become a thing. Like Slayer was like the start of it, and then these guys just took it to another level with them, Korn. Who else was in there? And pretty much those bands really.
Yeah, I didn't.
Limp
All
Bizkit.
my friends were into the new metal, and I was like the punk rock. So um, their sick new world when we were young.
I would actually fall in line with both because like I've never seen Limp Bizkit. That's actually one of the few bands like it's like
Limp Bizkit goes hard. Limp Bizkit,
yes,
I can get
like
it.
I will absolutely like their music isn't the best and they know that, but there's so much raw energy in it where I'm just like, yeah, I just want to freaking go nuts.
Yeah, no, I mean they go hard live. I mean, what's the song?
Break stuff.
Yeah, break. Oh my God, that is like there are some songs where like maybe you're not even like a fan of the band, but like that is one of those songs. Like break stuff, like is going to be one of the like best moments of a show.
Yep.
Like Last Resort, Papa Roach. You
Yep.
don't have to be a fan, but if you're at a festival and they're there, you're like, oh, I got to hear Last Resort live.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the same. I've seen them, I think 2 or 3 times at all at festivals, which is the irony of that. But it was always, I saw like the last half of their set because, I want to see Last Resort live. And when it always goes on, I just rush the pit because it's just like, there's energy. I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah,
But
then
actually,
those are those songs where like the whole place becomes a pit.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, speaking about whole places become a pit, Turnstile. Though, like when you mentioned them, that is a band that I did not expect their crowds to be as rowdy as they are. Where it's just everyone is jumping, there's multiple huge pits, and people are getting on stage. It is absolutely chaos.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of like Turnstile is a band like I'll admit like when they were starting to blow up, I was like, they're good, but like why does everybody making them out to be like they're the greatest band like ever? Because they were like hot
Yes.
when they were getting hot, and then I saw them at an adjacent festival in New Jersey, and I was like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm actually the exact opposite. I saw them at Riot Fest before they blew up, and I was like, all right, I get this. It kind of reminded me of Knocked Loose, where I get it live. And then when I go to listen to their albums, especially their older stuff, I'm like, I don't understand this. And then what was it? Mystery, their last album that came out, not their newest release from 2025.
I've never
When that
listened to
came
it.
out and they blew up, I was like, and I put headphones on and listened from start to finish. I was like, oh, I get this now.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't. Um, yeah, no, I never got into. I'm sorry, who'd you just say?
We were Turnstile and
No,
like Knocked Loose.
Yeah, Knock Loose, Knock Loose. Yeah, I never got into Knock Loose as far as their albums, but like, yeah, they play live. Come on.
Yeah. It's heavy. It's awesome. Like it's one of those bands that I don't exactly tell people to go listen to. I'm just like, if they're there,
Yeah, go
just
see them.
go see it.
them.
Because Slaughter
Yeah.
Prevail is another band that's just like that to me, where I'm like, you may not like their music. I absolutely love it for certain aspects of like working out or I just want to have that raw energy. Turn that stuff on. But if you don't like that music, I still tell them like, just go and watch it live. You will respect it so much more.
Yep.
Now, for people going into the pit for the first time, whether it be Slaughter to Prevail or Turnstile or just pop punk in general, what are your tips to them?
Don't start with Slaughter to Prevail. I mean, unless like you just are like,
Death Wish.
yeah, unless you have a death wish or you just are like, a big person who can handle it, and just like for whatever reason has never been to a concert, but if you did, you would have gotten into it. But yeah, if you're just dipping your toe in, let's start on something more melodic. Start on some pop punk, and start on the edges, and just dip your toe in. Do a lap around, see how it feels. Maybe throw a two-step in there, and your body's going to tell you what to do. The music's going to tell you what to do.
Yeah. Now, is there any bands that you recommend to people going into the pit the first time? Be like, this is a pit that you want to go in for this artist.
Like for a beginner pit,
Yes.
um, Bowling for Soup, Simple Plan, We the Kings. Those were all bands that we had pits for this year at various festivals, and were all very, very wholesome. I actually have, so sometimes I'll get to a pit and I'll kind of like kind of like do an introduction. Like there's two different scenarios. There's the getting to a pit mid set because I'm running around and trying to catch all the bands possible. And then there's the situation where you get there before the band starts, maybe while the band on the next stage is playing, and we just want to get everybody ready. Like I said, I'm considerate. I want to look out for the people around me. So, um, so I have two different speeches that I make. So there's the soft band speech, and so when I got there for like We the Kings, I got down there and like, all right, what do we got? We got a banana suit over there. We got a mohawk over there. Is this my crew? Is this my crew? Or is this where we're going to start a pit? And if I don't get any reaction, and I might get a like, oh, please no, then I'll go a little further up or something. All right, is this where I'm going to start my pit? And then there's like 6 guys. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, I didn't know we could mosh to this band. Yeah, let's do it. And then I'll be like, all right, okay, attention everybody. We are going to do a mosh pit right here. All right, we're going to have fun. We're going to make some vibes for the band. We're going to make some vibes for each other. If you don't want to be part of it, just move a few feet that way or stand at the edges. We will look out for you. We will keep you safe. I promise. This is We the Kings, not Slaughter to Prevail. Okay? It's going to be a fun, safe pit. Let's have a good time. And then there's the Pennywise pit. You get there for Pennywise, and you want to make sure we're in the right spot. So you look around, you're like, yeah, this looks like all the old punks. Is this where we're gonna have the pit? And all right, everybody, this is where we're doing the pit. If you don't want to be part of it, just move off to the edges. This is Pennywise, so it's gonna happen whether this flag is here or not. So we get it going. We have fun.
Yeah, Pennywise is one of my favorite bands for pits. Like it's fast paced, it's old school punk, and you either are running in circles as fast as possible or just bumping into each other. But it's always like a good time.
It is so good, and I mean, you can't beat Broham when they have everybody on. They have all the other bands on stage behind them. Like it is just such a moment. A moment.
Especially at Warp DC. When they started playing that, there was a little bit of rain going on, and you just see all the other crew members, and then just anyone else who can get on that stage was on there screaming the lyrics. I'm like, yo, this is what Warped is. Yep. It's one of my favorite moments from Warp DC.
2018, the final run of Warp Tour. They weren't on the tour, but Kevin Lyman was like, Pennywise is coming back for the last show, and they're going to close it down. They were the last set, and it seemed like every band member and crew member that played Warp Tour was on the stage. Like there was not an inch. You couldn't even tell who the band members were. That was one of the sickest moments in Warp Tour history.
Yeah, because I remember seeing those videos, and going to Warp Tour all those years, I was emotional watching it because I'm like, I wish I could have been a part of that moment. I tried so hard, take time off of work, and I just could not financially afford it, but I would have, if I had the funds, I would have been there. But I also remember Etiquette, Every Time I Die, trying to outlast Broham's set by the guitarist playing map changes the whole entire time.
They were on the other stage, and he would just, that last riff, he just kept going until they unplugged behind him.
Which, I mean, for Etiquette, that was Warped Tour and Etiquette just went hand in hand. They were one of those bands that were like Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish and Pennywise, that they just did so many shows of it and runs where it's just like, they are part of that, I guess, Hall of Fame of Warped Tour bands. Where it's just like, yeah. And I found that humorous where I'm like, they are trying so hard to be the last band to have the last note on Warped Tour.
But you can't be Pennywise. Penny, like, they're the quintessential old school Warped band.
Yep.
When
When
they
I think
asked,
of Warped Tour, it's Pennywise. That's
yeah,
it.
when they asked all the bands in that 2018, like, what's the most quintessential Warped Tour song? Um, Brohim was like the Brohim was the most named one, and that's what Kim and Lyman said. Um, when they asked it in 2025, it was something more 2010s. Maybe Dear Maria. It was something like that.
Oh yeah, I can see All Time Low taking that because Warped Tour this year reminded me a lot of like '06, '07 Warped Tour, where they brought in a lot of those bands, the pop punk bands in that era, like All
Yeah,
Time Low. And then you also had the
Yellow,
early 2010s where you have Wonder Years, Knuckle Puck.
Career
Uh,
Strong.
yep. You had all of them in there, which they were huge in that era for Warped Tour. And they had a couple of the old school bands from the 90s, which Pennywise is definitely one of them, Suicide Machine. So I thought they did a very good job, but I can now, looking back, I can see where Dear Mirror is like, oh yeah, that is the quintessential pop punk of 2025 Warped Tour song. But to me, it's always going to be Brohim.
Brohim. Yep.
Yeah. Now, what is the biggest pit that you've been a part of?
Ever probably. So I don't count when they're like, let's have everybody go around the sound booth, because like Less Than Jake used to do that all the time. I know another band did that this year. That's just running laps. Okay, that's just gym class.
That's a cardio.
Well,
That's cardio workout.
I don't count that. Pits are cardio. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong, but that's too close. But I mean, No Effects, I feel like always had the biggest pits. No Effects was the final set on the 25th anniversary show, where they like actually were late, and other bands did No Effects covers up until they showed up. It was actually really cool. That was one of the biggest ones, or maybe one of the final No Effects shows last year. Those are just always enormous. The Dropkick Murphys this year at Long Beach. Speaking of Pennywise being that Warped Tour band, so they have a song called "The Big Man" about Fletcher from Pennywise, and they brought Fletcher on stage, and that's what they closed their set with. And so I actually got a shout out during this. Ken Casey, the lead singer of Dropkick Murphys, is like, all right, guys, so for this final song, I'm never one to ask what the crowd or the pit does, but hey, pit guy, get your flag over here. No, a few more feet that way. Okay, right there. And he's like, and he rallied for everybody to start the biggest pit around me. There was a pit in VIP. And we just had this gigantic pit. Like, if you pull up the video, it's just enormous. It was, and I'm just on a guy's shoulders, like holding up my flag in the center of it. It was pretty much pretty insane.
That sounds incredible. That sounds like the perfect way to end Warped Tour, in my opinion. Is just that kind of insane energy.
All the way through.
Now, is there a pit that or a concert that if you can go back and relive, is there one of those that with or without the flag?
Probably like the early shows where I was, not ready for the pit. I'd probably want to go experience some of those and, go a little harder than I did at the time. Maybe one of those early Blink shows, or seeing Green Day back when they were still a three-piece in the Nimrod tour.
Oh man, that would have been incredible to see. But for me personally, it would be either Warped Tour that first day, because that was when my life changed completely, or Bouncing Souls at Waiting Room in Buffalo. This was like 2015, 2016. It was one of the rowdiest punk rock shows that you could ever be a part of. And they still will talk about it to this day, because what's the song? Lean on Sheena?
Lead on Gina.
Yes. So when there was a girl crowd surfing the whole entire time, and how this venue was, there was no barricade. So you crowd surf and you go straight on the stage, and you either jump off back into the crowd or you just go off to the side. When the song was building up where it kicks in, she landed onto the stage and unplugged all the power. So all you hear is the bass and the drums. Those are the only two things. Guitar, mic, it is all gone. And you have 600 people in this little tiny room screaming the lyrics back.
Anytime that I do like get on stage, I am terrified of tripping over a chord or something.
Yeah, but they didn't know what to do, but they also are legends enough and understand like, yo, we got to keep playing. And the crowd was just singing the song back the whole that second half, and it was just chills beyond chills of just incredible.
How long did it take before the power was back?
It took them probably about 3 to 5 minutes because they finished the song, so there's an extra minute and a half right there, and then it took them another couple minutes of getting all the sound power backed up and then going through and making sure everything was good.
It's punk rock. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. I'm like, yo, that's punk right there. I'm like, it was incredible, and just memories I will wish I could go back and relive. But let's see if let's do kind of some year-end review stuff, because I know it's 2026 now, and 2025 it sounded like it was an incredible year for you. What was the favorite festival that you went to this year? Well, last year.
So, I mean, come on. Warped Tour. I went to 3 of them. They were... Listen, Riot Fest had an unbelievable lineup. I had a great time at Riot Fest. No complaints. But Warped Tour is just where it's at for me, you know. Not that, like, every other festival isn't also where it's at, because I go to all of them. But, like, Warped Tour was just so special. I feel like there's something to be said about not having a massive headliner like most of the other festivals have. Like not having a Green Day or My Chemical Romance or Fall Out Boy. Because as much as, like I said, Green Day is my favorite band. Or did I say that? Well, they are. I did say I saw them 17 times in a year. I don't want them at Warped Tour. I don't want all of... I don't need one band's diehard fans clogging up a stage all day and bringing bad vibes. There's like a famous picture from a couple years ago. I think it was at Riot Fest. And I don't know if the picture was like performative or if it actually was a person that was being this much of an asshole. But they were at Barricade, like waiting for MCR, reading a book while another band was playing.
That unfortunately would not surprise me.
You know,
were you there that year at Riot Fest one?
No.
So
and if that was a joke, it's hilarious. Yeah. But if that was real, shame on you.
Yes, and I mean, I was there for the show, and I found my way to the pit right away because that was a very tight crowd. So the pit gave us room to breathe and have our fun. But after every song, the band was just like, all right, everyone take 3 steps back. Like, guys, we don't have to keep doing this. But after every single song, Gerard kept saying it because of safety issues. It reminded me a lot of System of a Down at Riot Fest a few years. Well, this is probably 10 years ago. It was like System of a Down, The Prodigy, Motorhead. Lemmy was there. I think that was one of his last performances. And System of a Down, that was probably one of the crowds that I was legitimately terrified. I was nowhere near the front, and it was one of those tidal waves of a crowd where people would push and you would just go forward and then you would go back and you were going everywhere and my feet were off the ground. Yeah. I'm like, well, if I go down, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Was there a favorite band that you saw live this year?
So that's kind of a loaded question, sort of. So, I mean, like I said, Green Day is my favorite band. I did see them 4 times this year, but Um, you know, I saw the Paradox 14 times this year. So while I didn't get to my 17 that I got to Green Day the year before, Paradox is my band of the year. Um, I, I, and like I didn't initially like set out to see them 14 times. Uh, I just happened to be in the places they were playing, and then towards the end, I maybe tried a little bit. Um, so I caught them. They said, well, it goes back to two of them were in 2024 at When We Were Young. So I saw them back at When We Were Young in 2024, um, and so that was two because I saw them both days. Then I see them. They did a headlining tour with games we play earlier this year. So that was three. Not that much yet. Um, then they start with the festivals, and they go to Warped Tour Long Beach and do a sideshow. So that they are at 5, and then they do at Riot Fest. They do two sideshows. So I go see them at Riot Fest. I see them do a sideshow, and then they do a set one morning at Run Travis Run 5K. So just do a set before Riot Fest, no problem. Then they went on tour with All Time Low. I caught them in Dallas and drove out to see them in Oklahoma. Then they come back to oh wait, I forgot When We Were Young, which they didn't play, but they played two more side shows there. Run Travis Run again, and then the Hawthorne Heights Pool Party. So that gets me up to 12. And then I got to see them. They did a couple of Christmas shows. So came out to see them in Oklahoma again. It's only a 4-hour drive, no biggie. And then they challenged me. They're like, hey, come see us again next week. And a friend of mine's a flight attendant. She gave me a buddy pass. I'm like, all right, I'm there. And so 14 times for the Paradox. That's why I had to make the flag. And like literally, they give me a shout out every time. We have fun pits for them. So see who's going to be my band next year. See how many times I can see them, and see how many more times I can see the Paradox.
Well, I know the Paradox is on tour right now, so there's times you can probably see them 2 or 3 more times at least, really quick.
Well, unfortunately, I can't catch the Buffalo show. I would come there and see it with you, but I'm going to the Emo's Not Dead cruise like just a few days later, and gotta prep for that.
Yes. I've actually I wanted to do the Emo's Not Dead cruise, but I've also never been on a cruise, so I don't know how I would react.
I mean, if you're someone that can't deal with seasickness, then that's one thing. But I'll tell you, it's like summer camp. I mean, it's only 4 days and it's in the winter, but it's just I go back every year. My friends go back every year, and just like Warped, like I don't even care what the bands are. Like I'm just gonna come and survive, and I'm really excited.
You're gonna bring the flag to that one too?
Making a new flag. I'm making a new flag for that one. Every festival gets its own customized flag tailored to their aesthetic. So Emo's Not Dead one coming up.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that one. Now, is there a favorite album or albums or artists in general that you like really vibed with this year besides, the Paradox and Green Day?
So new albums, I want to give shout outs to the Starting Line and Dropkick Murphys. Both came out with new albums this year. Both are worth taking a listen to. If you're an old head and you're like, I really just like the bands for their old stuff, I'm telling you, they're both worth checking out. They're both great. They got those vibes. And then, but like other bands that I really got into this year, I mentioned earlier, People Are Ugly. I discovered them from the Warped Tour. Really vibing with them. They're a lot of fun. They're not my typical pop punk type band, but they do, have some of those vibes a little bit. had a lot of fun at their set. 408 is another one. A friend of mine told me that I have to see them at DC, so I did. I checked them out at DC. Had a great time, and um, ended up seeing them 5 times this year because they played all 3 Warped Tours. I caught them at a headlining show, and then they did a pre-show at the last Warped Tour. So those guys are a lot of fun. Winona Fighter. If you don't know about Winona Fighter, check them out. They are a newer punk band too. Female lead singer. Her name is Coco, and she goes so freaking hard. Oh my god! Like she is having her own mosh pit on stage. Like, they are so much fun. Check them out for sure. Winona Fighter.
I've actually never heard of them.
And Super
What was that?
Sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Also,
Super Sometimes.
check them out.
Yeah, they're another up and coming band that is kind of taking the steps of the Paradox, where they're not taking themselves that serious, and they're just having fun, and it shows in their videos.
Yep. Their videos are a lot of fun too. They're a little comedic.
Yeah. Bands for me this year was Ben Quad and Hot Mulligan. Both of them released really good albums this year. That Midwest emo mixed with Motion City soundtrack. So if you like any of that kind of style, I definitely recommend people to check them out. Who else? Yellow Card's newest album.
On the cruise. I'm going to be seeing them on the cruise, so I'll check them out a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the first time I saw them or heard of them, was watching them live, and the raw energy that Hot Mulligan gives out to the crowd is just that's what hooked me. And then from there, I listened to Drink Milk and Run, and that was game over. After that, I was like, all right, this is definitely my style of. It has that punk energy, has some emotional lyrics. They're not taking themselves too seriously, especially in their music videos, and it's just fun times.
That's cool. One more I want to mention, because he's also going to be on the cruise in a couple of weeks, and he's like brand new. Have you heard of Barry Hendricks?
I have not.
Dude, this guy is like ripped. He's like ripped as hell. He's got a grill, and he doesn't look like a punker. And I think he was originally trying to be a rapper, and he fell into emo. I don't know the exact story, but he started posting covers, and he has some really good covers, and he just released his first original song a couple weeks ago, and his second coming out in a few weeks. So I'm going to be seeing him live. I have a feeling it's going to be a fun set.
Awesome. You're going to have to let me know how that goes, and I'm going to have to check them out. Now, is it just one artist, or is it an actual like band, or is it an artist?
He's with a dude. I mean, I don't know if he's bringing a band, or if he's just gonna have a track behind him. But whatever it is, I'm here for it.
Awesome. So what festivals are you playing up this year besides the Warped Tours, Emo's Not Dead? Is there any others that you're like, yo, I can't wait?
So 5 Warped Tours and 1 cruise. You'd think that would be enough, but no way is that going to be enough for me. I like to have I like there to be no more than 30 days before my next thing to look forward to. 3 weeks is the sweet spot, because you really adrenaline goes for another week or 2 after the fasting, then you're ready for that next one. So I need to fill out the rest of my year, but right now my January is the cruise. February and March I need something. There's not usually a lot of festivals. April, I'm going to do Sick New World because it's coming to Texas and I don't have to travel to it. Like I said, I'm more of a pop punker, or more of a when we were young guy. But Marco, who I mentioned, the other flag guy, he is a big Sick New World guy. So he's coming to town for that. So I'll probably make a flag for it, So we got Sick New World for April. May is going to be Rockville. Day one of Rockville has some good pop punk. I think I'm only available for day one, but if I can make day two, I will. If you're coming out to Rockville, then June, July, August, Warped Tours. September, also Warped Tour, maybe Riot Fest. We'll see what that lineup looks like. Like Warped Tour, I mean, no matter what. Other fests, I'm wait for the lineup guy. So we'll wait for the lineup for Rockville. I'm sorry, for Riot Fest. Might do that. October is normally when we were young is. There's still no announcement. There's a lot of speculation as to why there's no announcement. Hopefully that comes soon, and that's my October. And then my November is going to be that Warped finale. And I'll have to find a Christmas show or something in December. But those are just my festivals. I'm obviously going to lots of shows when in between all of those. In Dallas, I'll drive to Oklahoma for shows, and other shows I'll fly out for if I'm not doing anything that day. Like I said, I do something every few weeks.
Yeah, I am the same way. It's like, if it's not a festival, which I can only do one, maybe two a year, and especially with like Warp DC, I like the 2-day festivals. 3 days are nice too. I'm not a big fan of 4-day festivals just because it's a lot and it costs so much more money.
Yeah.
And that's where like the financial aspect of it, where I'm like, come on, guys. Like, yes, like don't get me wrong, like I absolutely love Sonic Temple's lineup this year, but I can't. I tried crunching numbers as much as possible to figure out how to do it as cheap as possible, and even at the cheapest point, I'm like, it's still just to go out there. It's like $1,300.
Yeah.
Just to go out. That's not food. That's not the parking issues. That's not Ubering. That's so by the time it's all said and done, you're looking at a minimum of $1,600.
Yeah, and maybe you could get lucky and like 2 days in a row look good. But what if like it's the first day and the fourth day, and it's just like, oh, then I'd have to stay. It's expensive. A lot. So I've traveled for shows 17 times this year. I know that because of my my airline rewards. But I did 17 round trips this year. And yeah, obviously it gets expensive. So no, I do not stay in a hotel all 17 of those times. A lot of times I will fly out to a show, fly out there first thing in the morning, grab lunch, go to the venue, wait for it to open, get my good spot, hang out, do the show, have a meal with friends after the show, try to like milk that meal, make it last as long as possible, because I got to pull an all-nighter. So after the meal, I will convince somebody to let me take a shower at their hotel or home, and then after that, I Uber back to the airport, and I wait for it to open. Normally, I'll get there like 3:30, not too early, but I have been the first one, and I have my airport my airport festival joke. I get there so early that like there's a gate down in front of the security checkpoint. So I tell everybody that I got the barricade at the airport, baby.
It's the one time that you get to the barricading, you chill out there.
Exactly. No pits at the airport,
Now, with the lineups that are announced now, is there any of those bands off of the Emo Fest or no, Warped Tour hasn't even announced anything yet, other than their dates.
We're waiting for we heard that at the end of January we're going to get some announcements. So
awesome. Is there any bands that you're excited for, or you're hoping that will be on the lineup?
Yeah, I'm hoping that the bands that they didn't pick this year get in the lineup as far as like my old school bands. So I'm talking Newfound Glory, MXPX, Homegrown, um, Real Big Fish, please, please,
Yes.
please, Real Big Fish.
Get them back.
How about Alistair and Phoenix TX and all the drive? Let's do the drive-through stage. Let's bring back the drive-through stage. I heard that there like maybe some controversy with the owners of drive-through, so maybe maybe we don't call it the drive-through stage, but just have drive-through bands on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Warped Tour has a prime marketing campaign, I guess, right now. If they could do that and then also grab bands from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and throw them all on a stage.
Yes, that's a great idea as well. That is a great idea. Let's do that, Tony Hawk.
Yeah, because you got the vert ramps right there. So why can't I know it's like the band's left foot and the band's right foot stages for the main stages, but you can just have the Tony Hawk Pro Skaters. You can have Goldfinger.
I mean, if Goldfinger's there, he's gonna show up.
Yes,
I've seen him come up to play Superman with Goldfinger at least 3 times.
I've only seen Goldfinger once, and it was one of the most fun shows. It was them, Real Big Fish, and Big D in the kids' table. So,
such a great lineup. Oh, yeah, Big D also. Let's have them on there.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, come on, Warped Tour, do something like this. And then maybe do another, like a victory stage, because a lot of, like, A Day to Remember and those bands from the 04 to 07, that was Victory and Fearless right there that took over.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could have so much fun with this, and just marketing wise on that is just it would sell itself. Like, I already have my ticket, but if they're like, yo, one of these stages is going to be bands that all were on Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters video games at some point, I'm like, yo, I'm already there.
Honestly, like, yeah, if a festival announced like, hey, tickets go on sale, lineup comes after the tickets, but we're not going to tell you the lineup, but there's going to be a stage with all Tony Hawk fans. People are going to be like,
I'm there. I don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, you got, especially Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you got generations of punk rock all in there. Because you got, you have Goldfinger from the original one, and also I think in 3 or 4 they had another one in there. But then you also got like the Interrupters. Who else is? I know those are the 2 major ones for me. And then you got Less Than Jake. You got Newfound Glory. Yeah, like just, we're going to do Tony Hawk's Pro Skater stage. Please.
Do it. Please.
You want to sell out Warped Tour really quick? Just say those words.
Yeah. Tony be down. Tony be down. He skated too this year, didn't he?
He might have done the California one. I mean, at DC, he wasn't there. It was the dude from Sum 41, Derek, the singer. Yeah, he was there at DC, just kind of walking around with his wife. I was like, that's punk rock, where, you're just walking around with the crowd.
In Orlando, he performed with School of Rock, like at the like Smart Punk stage or something. Like, I say, at like one of those tents.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I saw the video of that, and I was like, that's Warped Tour to me. That stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that,
and then
like Derek playing at the Smart Punk tent at Warped Tour is the equivalent of when Green Day plays a club show.
Exactly. It really is. and like I said, that is what I always think of Warped Tour is, the big bands or even the small ones that are just performing in tents or on the small stage, like the Ernie Ball stage way back when. that was Warped Tour to me. That was a huge factor. And then I will also shout out Keep Flying for Warped Tour at DC, because that was while Avril Lavigne was going on in the downpouring rain, they were at the Smart Punk. So you had your ska. I had my ska moment with them.
I heard about that band and I want to check them out.
Yes, they released an album this year called Time and Tide, or Tide and Time, something like that. I highly recommend it. It is definitely one of my top 10 albums this year.
I will check that out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I after I heard about that was I was like, oh, I wish I would have checked that out. But I did have this kind of legendary moment during Avril. So like I was not an Avril fan growing up. Like I don't have her albums, but
I know
you
Skater
know,
Boy, so
yeah, exactly. Skater Boy is a good song. Like you get to a certain age, and stuff that used to be corny is now endearing. Um, I actually have a saying that I made up. Why did we all have to grow up to realize that guilty pleasures are simply pleasures?
that is
So,
so true.
so no more guilty pleasures. Avril Lavigne is a pleasure. Yeah, I really wanted to do a pit during Skater Boy. I was like that would be epic. Um, but like, yeah, like you said, it was raining, and um, I think Simple Plan was just before her, and I was just drenched. I was freezing. I had a change of clothes. I was like, I got to do a change of clothes. I got to take a break. I'll hit up Haverhill halfway through. So again, not sure if I'm gonna be able to do a pit for this. It is Avril Lavigne. We are getting late. People we're getting more mainstream. I don't know what people are going to think about me bringing the flag up. So, but sure enough, I get changed. I get a poncho on. I'm all dry and cozy, and I head back out there. Everyone lets me through, no problem, because it's Warped Tour and everyone's nice. I get close enough to where I recognize a few people from earlier pits. They're like, "Yes, he's here! Thank God! Oh my God!" And they just start cheering. And mind you, the song "Complicated" is playing at the moment, like the least moshy song possible. But man, somebody just picks me up, puts me on their shoulders, and they start circling around me. It was so wholesome. I'm on the big screen. Um, if you like look up the clip on YouTube, the thumbnail is me on the guy's shoulders on the big screen.
No, that is incredible. That is such a good story because Complicated it's a sing along. It isn't a mosh pit song, and and the fact that you guys got a pit going for it goes to show the power of the flag.
Yeah, and just like the power of a punk rock festival, like that's not going to happen at her headlining show, but at Warped Tour, it's going to happen.
Now, is there any bands that if they were announced and they're coming to your city or you're flying out to see them, is there anyone that you would be like, yo, I need to make a custom band flag like you did with Green Day for the pit?
The more you embrace it, the better chance that it will eventually happen. The most recent one I mentioned that drive-through show I went to, Homegrown was one of the bands, and Adam from Homegrown got in the pit. I did promise him that next time I see Homegrown, I'll have a customized Homegrown pit crew.
That's awesome. So yeah, so you got one there. But
yeah, I think there's a few others who might get that treatment too. A few others who have really embraced it.
Now, if there's one band that you want to embrace the pit crew flag, which one would it be?
Green Day.
Yeah.
Green Day. There's actually a picture of me. They did. So while they never really acknowledged the flag or me holding the sign, on the Saviors tour in 2024, there is an amazing picture. I got in the New York Times. Fabulously talented photographer, Gabrielle Robet, Gabby Ravi. I believe you know her. She was taking pictures for the New York Times, and she has just two of the most amazing photos, different angles of. It's like during the song "Letter Bomb," it like kind of slows down. He like says a speech in the middle of it, and so I opened up the pit like, all right, everybody out, and I'm just standing in the center like waiting for like, all right, when he gets there, then everybody's, wall of death, circle of death, whatever you want to call it, on me. And she's just got a picture of everybody around me, like on their knees, like kind of like bowing down, and it's the sickest picture. So it got in the New York Times, and Green Day also reposted it on their social medias. But it would be cool if that flag got on there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's like I said, it's funny how you mentioned Gabby, because I met her at Riot Fest before Green Day. We were both just waiting for Green Day to go on, or not Green Day, My Chemical Romance. Yeah, we were just waiting for My Chem to go on, and we just started talking. And then after the pit, we just exchanged Instagrams really quick. And since then, it's, probably 3 or 4 times a year. I always reach out to her. She reaches out to me, seeing if we're going to any festivals. And if we are, let's try to figure out if we can meet up.
Yeah. Festival
But
life.
it's awesome seeing her success.
Yep. We're all the same.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the older I get, the more I realize that we are all just the same person going to these festivals. It's our group. It's our family.
It is.
Yeah. But let's wrap this up a little bit. It's going on to about a little bit over an hour and a half, so let's do some quick wrap-ups and have some fun with this. What keeps you coming back to the pit?
The community and the vibes, and like you said, the family. It is a family, and I just love it. Like I said, I'll see someone in the pit that we met in a pit in a different state. Like, where do I know you from? Do I know you from Seattle? We met in Seattle, but no, I'm not from Seattle.
Yeah, I'm the same. It is family. Like, I will never not go to the pit anymore. Like, it is. And I'll never stop going to concerts. I don't care. I will be 70 years old and I will still be in the crowd at a concert. Don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not in the pit, but
maybe there are 65-year-olds in there. I see it, and they make me they make me believe that I'm going to keep doing it forever.
Yeah. What do you hope that people will feel when they do see you and the pit crew flag?
I hope that they also feel community, that they feel like that's a safe place, and damn, I want to get there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then where can people find you for social media wise?
Instagram, Pitkid _01. Reddit, Pitkid01, no underscore. Those are pretty much my spots.
Yeah. I gotta get more on Reddit. I finally started, I started checking out Reddit more towards off time for me, and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely much more fun than Facebook or Instagram.
It totally is.
And then
it's fun.
Yeah. And then, is there any final words for the pit crew watching this?
See you in the pit.
That is the best way to end this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Pit Crew Guy. Go follow him on social media and Reddit at Pitkid _01 for Instagram and Pitkid _01 for Reddit. And there you have it. This was an absolute blast of an interview for me because we got a chance to just talk music and exchange stories. We also got a chance to learn the origins of the Pit Crew flag and where it will be at in 2026. If there's one thing that you can take away from this interview, is that creativity can build a community. Because without the pit crew flag, I would have never got a chance to meet Michael, and we would have never had this conversation. And speaking of community, if you want to be a part of this, please go to my website and fill out the contact form. I'd love to have all of you on here. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the pit.